Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the planet Metalopolis here, and I bring you down here in the south side, WallIE playing as the red Protoss, and Steve's playing here as the blue Protoss here on the top side of the Metalopolis map here. And this is going to be a PvP matchup, and we'll keep it the production tab just so everyone can see what's going on. And nothing really going on in the early game, just the normal building of probes. This is a really interesting map, but most maps are irrelevant when it comes to PvP, because what ends up happening is you have the pylons are able to reinforce units there from anywhere basically on the map. So the actual map is almost irrelevant in PvP unless it comes down for a map like Taldarm Altar, which is a really bad map for PvP and a really bad map in general in my opinion. So the 9 pylons come up here for both players here. WallIE putting up his pylon at 9 as well. Steve as well putting his pylon up at 9. WallIE scouting the wrong direction and sending out that little bit of scouting there very early indeed, coming from that 9 pylon right away. Chrono boost going down for both of our players right here, and we'll see how the builds start to vary it up. You'll find that unlike in the previous patches where PvP just end up being 4-gate v 4-gate, a lot of players are changing around their builds. And there is a gateway going down now for Steve, and a gateway going down for WallIE. WallIE a slight bit behind, but it doesn't really matter at this point. Keeping the mining. We'll see who actually puts down their first gas, if any. Could have a 2-gate versus 2-gate, unlikely, but you know. And there goes the gas down for WallIE and the gas down for Steve's. WallIE's probe just going and scout over here in cross positions. He did scout here in close positions on metal. I don't think you can spawn here anymore, but I'm pretty certain about that, but I'll have to double check that. 15 pylon going on there for Steve's, and will WallIE put down his 15 pylon, or will he leave it for another 16? Looks like he's going to leave it for 16. And there's the gas going up for both players now, just manning respectively. And WallIE's probe is going to be coming in here into Steve's base. The gateways have both finished, so we'll see if anything gets created. Right into Cybernetics core for Steve's. Will WallIE go right into Cybernetics core? It looks like he will. Yes, indeed. No early zealots coming out for these two players. The odds are they're going to send them out. Steve's is saving up some Chrono boost energy. They're the same as WallIE. Basically mirror matchups at the minute, but Steve is getting that zealot a lot earlier. And will WallIE respond? Where will the Chrono boosts all be spent? That is the big question here. One Chrono boost going down here on the zealot on the gateway for Steve's here. And there's a probe just hanging around in the natural expansion on the outside of the base. The one zealot coming out here for WallIE, a little bit behind, but it's not really going to matter since the zealot doesn't look like it's going to be aggressive. Still only the one gas going down, with the second gas going down now for Steve's, with the warp gate tech being researched for Steve's first there, and the warp gate now being researched for WallIE. Still only one gas coming for WallIE with 4 harvesters in it. I'm not sure if that's deliberate or not, because it doesn't really make much difference. With 4 in the gas, you do get a tiny bit more gas, but it's not considered to be worth it since it wastes that probe. No second gas usually indicates a very fast Stalker Zealot expand, or more likely a 4-gate. We have the probe coming in here for Steve's going into the main base, so he may actually see that there was only one gas. Over here in Steve's base we have the 2-gate going down with the Twilight Council hiding in the back of the base right there. The probe does get in. Will it get to see the fact that there is no gas? Bring up his fog of war here. He does get to see that there's no gas, which is an instant indicator of a 4-gate. So we'll see how the reaction is there with the third gate going down there for Steve's. And both of these players are actually even in terms of supply right now. 24 for WallIE and 25 for Steve's, which just actually overtook there. Another probe going up here into the north side of the map here, looking to probably put one of those proxy pylons down. What the proxy pylon allows you to do is to warp in additional warp in additional units here. And the idea of this is why when I was talking earlier, it doesn't really matter what map it is in PvP. And we'll see that pylon going down. Yes, most likely. There it is. And there's a sentry coming in for Steve. This is done because he knows there's going to be a 4-gate coming down, and there they are. The 3 gateways there with the 1 original gateway. Total of 4 gateways. Now we're going to have it. This is going to be a very powerful attack coming in here from WallIE. The question is, can this sentry hold? These force fields need to be perfect. With the 3 gateways now finishing up for Steve's, he will have the 3 gates to defend. The warp gates are now up for WallIE. Warp gates are just finishing up for Steve, and Steve hasn't actually started a blink yet. There you go, there's the blink starting there now. We will probably see a lot of zealots coming out of these gateways as they morph into the warp gates there. 3 stalkers coming in here now for WallIE, with a total of 6 units coming here. 5 stalkers and 1 zealot. Will this force field be able to stop this attack coming in? 2 more zealots warping in for Steve. Now they're coming up the ramp here. The sentry will do a force field. Beautiful force field there, and that does half the units, but the sentry is being focused on right here. Probably a bad target actually, because the sentry isn't going to have a force field for another force field anyway. Energy for a force field, and Steve repels that attack quite well actually. and there's another 3 stalkers warping in now, and 1 zealot for a total of 6 stalkers and 1 zealot coming in for another attack again, but the next sentry has been warped in for another force field. Will he actually walk up the ramp again, knowing that there could be another force field right here? Blink is halfway done here, and there's no chrono boost being used on it, and the force field does get placed on basically the entire army, and it does get trapped in the back there with the zealots just gnawing on those stalkers. You see how much damage those zealots do to the stalkers once they're in melee range. It's not even funny. And all the stalkers do finally go down, and the stalker retreats. Now Steve has managed to obtain a really good force with another 3 zealots and 1 stalker warping in for a grand total of 3 zealots and 2 stalkers against 6 zealots and 3 stalkers with, well, 5 stalkers now with the extra 2 warping in there. And WallIE is going to have to retreat here because he knows he is going to be very, very far behind in supply, and Steve is going to be pushing out with the blink just finishing up right there, and the chrono boost being used on the gate. Steve looks like he's looking around for that proxy pylon there while WallIE does retreat back to his main. How is he going to transition out of this? He is throwing in that second gas, chrono boosting the pros because he knows his economy is behind. Actually, he's going to be WallIE is actually ahead of Steve's in the harvester right now, throwing in that robotic facility, going to get those immortals and observer out. And the pylon does go down there. Steve does find out that pylon, which is really useful, because then there'll be no more reinforcements coming in. Very common strategy from Protoss players. If you do not get that pylon and go down for a counterattack, you will find 2 or 3 zealots been warped in and then right in your mineral line, and it is very frustrating to have to deal with that. So he's moving down here, going to take some control of the zone like a watchtower, taking out that probe. WallIE is now in the dark, as you can see, no longer any vision on the map. And Steve is going to be playing a little bit aggressive here. And that blink did finish, so it's going to be a question of can Steve get vision on the top of the map here. There is a sentry on the field, so there will be a force field, so we could get actually a reverse of roles here where WallIE will be defending the ramp. Steve's trying to get that ramp, and the force field does go down. Beautiful force field there, so that means Steve cannot blink up the ramp. The basic idea what Steve's want to do here by the looks of it is once he gets these cells up the ramp, he will gain vision of the above ramp, and he'll be able to blink up right away. And the force field is gone, but once again he is getting trapped off guard there. It would be better for WallIE to probably allow, well, probably wouldn't be allowed, it wouldn't be better, but if WallIE doesn't know about this blink, so realistically it would probably be a better idea to allow half the forces up and then cut them in half. But then again, very smart decision considering the blink is active. 1 stalker gets up, allowing the rest of the stalkers to blink right up there on top of the main army. Now the idea here is that there's going to be a lot of zealots ripping apart these stalkers, but because Steve has the economy, he's very able to get away with that, and with the blink micro there pulling down the weak stalkers, he's going to be able to get these zealots right in the melee range, and these sentries do not have any energy to be able to deal with that, and WallIE does concede the game right there. I hope you enjoyed that game, ladies and gentlemen. I will bring another one for you possibly later on, or most likely tomorrow. See you then.